Family, creative, inclusive.
I've seen these young people for about 5.5, 6 years now, so I've seen them from being little children to flourishing, beautiful young adults, and it's like they suddenly found who they were and where they were in the world.
The thing about my role is that I get the pleasure of going around and hearing some of the stories of how Haringey Shed's impact on people's lives. Most of us have got a background in performing arts, so we know what impact that can have on people's lives because it's happened to us.
I have a daughter with learning disability and a daughter who's mainstream, so getting them to do activities after school that caters for both of them, Haringey Shed was godsend.
It's a very diverse group of children, different ages, different backgrounds, different capabilities. That's very clear when you see them performing.
They're incredibly ambitious, and I've often been surprised at the quality of the work that Haringey Shed are able to bring out of those young people, regardless of kind of age, race, gender, and able to support those young people to create something quite magical on that stage.
The Mall are always looking to work with different community groups and charities who work very closely with the local community, and it was something we identified Haringey Shed as being very much a part of. So we were very excited to take part and to raise as much money as we could.
From my experience, it's around that collaborative process, so it's around those bouncing of ideas on what we kind of both feel will fit, but using Haringey Shed's expertise and knowledge.
It's amazing working with Haringey Shed just because generally as a company they're always up for it. Logistics are always a little bit complicated, but we always make it work, and they always bring all the support that is needed so that every single young person can participate.
When Alexandra Palace was marking the centenary of the First World War, their young people were on site for a week, and they then created a piece of promenade theatre, and it really just brought to life the stories of the men who were interned here during the First World War.
We did a project with some old people. We did some of their stories as their memories. I learnt that they're still people and they had lives before.
It's just lovely when you live in a place like this to suddenly hear the voices of children. My own grandchildren live 100 or 200 miles away, and therefore just to go and hear a performance by a load of really enthusiastic children was absolutely lovely.
Through mixing different ages and generations, you get a sort of more cohesive feeling and understanding, and this is what life should be about.
You know, as a mother, you want the best for your children, and I feel allowing them to come here and have a place like Haringey Shed is enriched all our lives.
I was in a really difficult place just coming out of prison, and I didn't have that bond with my children. Luckily for me, Haringey Shed became my saviour in the way I think I had a way to communicate it to them and how for them to come out of their shell. So Haringey Shed has always been like a part of the family to me.
I was a volunteer here at Haringey Shed, and so I know what that feels like. And so to be able to now see my experiences reflected in the volunteers that I now help is really special.
You always feel that you can call any of the staff members for any work-related issue and they'll help you out.
We learn so much as a team from each other, the way that we work. We give tips, we beg, borrow and steal activities, and we support each other after sessions, and even within the staff meetings before, and the briefings before sessions and after sessions. There's just such a supportive environment with the staff.
Working with these young people is a daily joy, a challenge, an honour, a privilege, because they're always keeping me on my toes and they're always making me aware of my faults and always challenging me on a daily basis. And I think if you take that on board and you really receive that feedback and suggestions, then that's going to keep you going in the right direction.
I feel really proud to be a patron of Haringey Shed. I always also feel very emotional about where Haringey is placed in London, and such a feel-good factor that in this space, in this town, that something wonderful and magical is happening.